right for you. We brought in Mark Eppley with Eppley Legal this morning. Kind of go over some of the talking points here when you look at adoption. And here's the bottom line: there are kids out there who need loving homes, and there's a lot of people who can provide them. But you want to make sure it's the right scenario for each and every person. What's the number one, number two question you should ask yourself if adoption is right?
The first thing you have to ask yourself is whether or not you can financially take on another child.
Right.
There's always more than meets the eye regarding adoption. There's adoption fees, or adoption home study fees, or our agency fees, and the like. So you have to make sure that you're asking the right questions about finance.
A lot of people with great hearts, a lot of people think they can provide, but at the end of the day, it is a financial hardship as well.
It can become a financial hardship. Yeah. There's the average adoption is about $10,000 to $25,000 if it's a private adoption, based upon all the agency fees. It's a lot less if you're doing an adoption through foster care or through the agency like JFS, Job and Family Services, for sure.
A lot of people have background checks.
Absolutely.
What the legalities to that? From adopting to also, as the adoptee, sure, getting a background check on yourself as well.
Correct. There are background checks that are required. There are home studies that are required. You will need to be a background check fingerprinted by the state of Ohio. You will also need to be background checked by the federal government. Anybody who's under the age of 18 will also have to be background checked as well with your house.
We're talking fees. We're talking forms. The process is a long process. How long does an average adoption take?
The average adoption takes about 3 years to complete.
Now, is that finding the right person to adopt, or once you say, okay, we're going to adopt, little Timmy, little Susie here, from that process, it takes 3 years?
It really depends on whether you're going through a private adoption or whether or not you're going through an agency adoption. If it's a private adoption, it takes a little bit longer, and one of the things that you have to be considerate of is the fact that mom may change her mind. Okay. The biological mom may change her mind. With an agency adoption, you have to get through permanent custody with Job and Family Services, and then that time has to run with the appeals, and then you have the ability to adopt.
And again, there's so many different circumstances here, but what are the legal rights? So let's say, I'm adopting, and then mom does change the mind. Do I have any legal rights to challenge that?
It depends on whether mom has signed.
There's a big emotional
sure
bond right there, because you think you're getting this little cutie in your home, and then you're not.
Sure, and unfortunately, people put up a lot of money to have a child through adoption, and they will actually pay for all of mother's medical expenses just to have the biological mom decide that she does not want to give up the child for adoption. Yeah. So if biological mom has signed an irrevocable contract, then there's nothing that the biological mom can do at that point to reverse course. If mom has signed a revocable contract, then mom can actually revoke that condition and therefore go ahead and keep the child.
And we talk about, a child, whether it's, a newborn or whether it's a teenager or whatnot, you hate having legalities and financials get into it because you wanted the right spot, but unfortunately that's the way it has to be. And it's a long process, but at the end of the day, celebration.
Absolutely, yeah. And some of the pictures that have been shown on the background have been those celebrations that we have had. My wife and I have been blessed to have 2 adoptions. We're in the process of adopting the 3rd within the next 60 days or so. It's just a celebration. It's a relief. It's the greatest day for the courts to.
There you are.
Yeah, it's me and Ralph and Judge Winkler and my wife and my daughter would have been the one that would have been adopted that day, and my son would have been adopted back in December.
Look at that very smile. That's
great. But it is a blessing in disguise, and it is. It is a matter of just making sure that you have the right heart to put the kids in your house.
Well,
yes,
Mark Eppley, the Eppley Legal, you know the laws on it, but you also have done it. You said congratulations on your 3rd coming up here.
Thank you very much.
And if we have questions, we can contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. 513-621-MARK or 513-621-6275. Love to have you up.
Great, Mark. Thank you so much. Get check the forecast right now. Here's Catherine. Hey there.
Hey, Frank, we do have dry conditions out.